So hey guys, welcome. In this video, we are going to study a use case by a company named as Vectrona, which is using mixed reality to help US Air Force to train their airmen. So let's start. So here we have, uh, yes. So US Air Force adopted immersive mixed reality so to train their airmen, which help them with more engagement, learning retention, and outcomes. So the company which was helping your US Air Force was Vectrona. So its research has confirmed that using mixed reality, augmented reality to train their airmen was far better than the old traditional methods by which they used to train their airmen. So even that too in a safe and effective manner. So we all know this one, like the skill is very important in order to get success. Let it be for the US Air Force only. So the men and women who working in US Air Force, starting from mechanics to pilots, everyone's skill is as much as important to together contribute for the success of US Air Force. And few years later, when US Air Force realized that they were having finite training resources and limited capacity to rapidly train and deploy critical personnel, so they thought of these two limitations and came up with wanted to have something in order to train their people in order to get better skillful persons, better skillful airmen. And how are they going to do that? They took the help of technology. And what technologies? That is immersive technologies, which consists of augmented and mixed realities, right? So so uh, Vectrona has enabled the airmen in order to excel at their job along with taking on some additional responsibilities. So with the help of these immersive technologies, they were able to perform their job as well as to take on additional responsibilities too, right? And that too with a better retention rate and also completely engagement, right? So Vectrona has understood this situation and used this as an opportunity to help US Air Force to come up with what they wanted. So what actually is Vectrona? It's a company. It's a company who won 3 SBIR contracts so far. What SBIR is stand for? It is Small Business Innovation Research. So Vectrona guys and Vectrona company is very best in innovation. So those innovation techniques and um, all those technologies has together helped US Air Force in order to maintenance of the aircraft, for maintenance of aircraft, for weapons, visualizing different weapons, and also the armament systems training for these two planes. If you see F-16S and F-15S aircraft using augmented and mixed realities. So so this has helped the airmen who were completely new, who didn't had any experience with the real huge aircraft, who were having only the basic training. So that helped these augmented and mixed realities helped them to catch up this big cultural change after their training center to the real actual working flow, and to get better steep learning curve to overcome these two things. So these basic new airmen with basic training had overcome this big cultural change and steep learning curve using the augmented and mixed realities um, training trainings. Yes. So Vectrona as a solution, what did they use? They used immersive technology as we have seen now, also with 3D training with different 3D models and all, and had used different task performance tools. I'm gradually going to look into and tell all those things. So this will help us inspired to do something of that kind. How, like to get inspired by Vectrona to do something of that sort, and we will be seeing what benefits is actually giving us in order to train the different students, and also how and what kind of technologies is Vectrona using to do this thing. So this is what we are going to study in this video, right? So let's get ahead. So as a solution, Vectrona has used these three things, and it has made its own apps where it would be teaching or training the airmen using visual instructions, oral clues, synthetic voice narratives, right, multimedia images, and realistic full-scale 3D digital representations, right. By this, what we mean is an actual CAD model of an actual aircraft or any other part of it in a full scale, like the size of it, whatever it was in the real world, the same would be the size for this 3D model, right. 3D full scale, yes. So with these many features, they had made, so they had given us this advantage of network with connected environments. Now the students were able to connect wherever they are, as this technology can be used from far away, so they are now still connected. Okay, and also remote and offline in hungers, right. Yes, so sometimes it happens they may not have internet and all, so at that times also this technology has helped them in order to perform or learn what they wanted to learn. Okay, so now let's get ahead and see some of the advantages, or basically seeing what mixed and augmented reality had improved so better than the academic classroom. So how is augmented and mixed reality training better than academic classroom training? Okay, so first of all, if we see, it had reduced large and huge time. So usually what happens in traditional ones, they sum up all the training mens together in a classroom and using PowerPoint slides in a board or something. So with the help of it they start training them, right. So it took lot of time, and also different people have different pace of learning. So that same traditional method cannot be suited for all of them, right. So here, decreasing the time spent, and also keeping this in mind that everyone has do not have their own pace, so that can be minimized, and it's a great advantage of using augmented and mixed reality training. Second one we have is, it allows the student to train even when physical equipment isn't available. So training, as you can see here, please look at this picture. So we have a part of an aircraft. So what if this is not available when I'm training someone traditionally? I always need this na in order to train someone when I'm training using the traditional legacy methods. So, but it's not now the case. We have augmented and mixed reality with us, which helps us without even having the asset physically, right? We need not to have any asset or anything physically. We will be having the 3D models of them, which will definitely help us in our training. Okay, so that's a great advantage also. Then we see enabling students to do preliminary training rehearsals. So guys, before their hands on an actual asset, an actual aircraft, it would be very great for them to be having a bit rehearsals, and like if they have some rehearsals before touching the actual ones, because the aircrafts and all those things are a bit harmful even with before destroying the enemies. If they do something wrong, it can even destroy their own people also, right. So it's as dangerous as that. So airmen would definitely need some rehearsals prior to be using the actual ones, right. So this technology will definitely help them rehearse, definitely help them do that, right. And if we see the last and fourth one, preparing, it's not the last, we have plenty of such kind of advantages, and we are studying some of them for now. Okay, so now the last one, it gives greatest possible values out of the precious hand training opportunities they need most, right. So you can experience it, like it would be as close as to an actual one, and without even losing any quality or standard. So the quality of instructions and standardization would be as same and as close as to the actual training process. It would be self-guided, so the student who would be learning it all by his own, he understands what he learnt and what he didn't. So accordingly he would be going to through that training. If he didn't understood a particular one, he could repeat it as many as times, as it won't be costing any additional costs, right. No additional training cost. Also it would be self-paced. So the main motive is to let you learn it before you start the actual performance of your aircraft. So this is the main game, and also it would definitely reduce time and proficiency. Now you need not to wait for your turn till the asset comes to your hand, or you need not to wait for your instructor to come and take the chance, come and take the lead to teach you. So all these kind of time you are getting saved, and also you need not other training costs also, right? So for example, if you want to see an aircraft flying, or like a bit maybe different scenarios might be possible, so different you know costs also come to you with that same. So now in this sense we need not any such kind of costs. So here we have Gilardi, who is the leader, innovator and problem solver for Vectrona. What he said, if we see, with augmented reality and mixed reality, students can learn faster and get more comfortable with the material. Like, see, the speed of learning is being increased, and also with better comfortably they can understand with what they are going to be studied, like the material. Okay, we wanted them to be more quickly learn how complex systems work. So right, we know this thing at US Air Force or any other such kind of area, at such kind of place, we would be having complex systems which we need to understand as quick as possible in order to react very well and become familiar with that. So with maintenance, so what kind of processes do we have to do there? We need to be able to maintain it, and inspection tasks, whether they are performing good or not, up to the level or not, on full scale models of the aircraft. Okay, so these same performance tasks they are managing on the full scale models of the aircraft and also its parts. Okay, so by the time they get to the critical important hands-on part of training, they are very confident and ready to dive in, says Gelardi. You getting it point, guys? So before the actual critical and important hands-on part of training, they are doing the same thing to become familiar, to get familiarized with the aircraft or its parts, and also how these complex systems work. So isn't it cool? Isn't it helpful? It definitely would be. In coming time, we are going to see different research being performed by different people, different scientists, which will definitely let us see, okay, how well it is, how better it is than the traditional method. Okay, so far we have seen the benefits and all what we can come up with these technologies. So now let us see what we which kind of technology do the Vectrona company uses to help the US Air Force. So it uses basically three different technologies, guys. And the first one, which is the most important one, would be the Vuforia Studio by PTC. And we all know what we can do with Vuforia. We can use marker based, markerless. We have plenty of such kind of augmented reality. And if I can say, Vuforia is the main component for augmented reality, which is easy to use and also intuitive for students, and as well as for different training experiences, right? So Vuforia would we would be using Vuforia, and then if you see, we will be using Creo Illustrate. Yes, we will be using Creo Illustrate. So to demonstrate what Creo Illustrate can do, I do want to share a YouTube video which I found. Let me take you there. Uh, One second. Let us search for augmented reality training. Augmented reality. I hope it can understand what I meant. Yes, here it is. So this video is really has really motivated me to use augmented reality in different scenarios. See, this is a motor by Seat company. So it helps the people to service it. So if you can see, we can have different animated sequences being happened, right? See, this brushing happening to clean the motor. Different UI systems are there present here. So this is all helping the person to understand what he needs to do. See here, he's like using Allen key to remove that, and also to clean and drain the oil. He has this filter which he needs to clean. If you see, he need to wrench up it, and then he need to blow air so that to clean it. So these are all the techniques, so which will be very helpful to bring in augmented reality in these kind of scenarios to help them do that. Okay, so these kind of animated sequences are there, can be done using Creo Illustrate. And also this Creo Illustrate is also a product of PTC only. So by this we can build animated sequences for different CAD models. We can have exploded view, as you can see here. I tried to post it here. We can have animated sequences as well as different exploded views so as to visualize these things better. So all these we can do using the Creo Illustrate. And then comes this Thingbox. This is another technology by PTC. So this helps Vectrona to capture student performance data, how well he is performing. Is he better than he was before or not? And also can identify lagging if there are any. So also helps to use to manage user data, user groups, how many groups they have been assigned to, and different credentializing, learning content. So these are all, like you can say, ThinkBox is also as important to track how the learning process of the student is going on. Okay, and it also offers many other IIoT uh, things to us, so we can even explore the ThinkBox also, just the same way as the Vectrona had researched and find out a solution by using all these three. So this is the product they came up with, called as ACE-XR, that stands for Augmented Cognitive Environment Extended Reality, for extended reality. So what do they offer by this app? You say so they offer step-by-step virtual product familiarization. So as we have seen in that video I've shown you, so step by step, once after one, you will get better familiarization of the product. As you see here, there is an arm of a robot. Like there's this person who is like getting a familiarization how and uh, what kind of parts it is made up of. Then you can even identify component identification, what components is what does it use for, where it needs to be placed, all those things. Then you can see theory of operations and experiences. So by using what part we can operate what thing, and what it will be helpful in different animated sequences, how to do those things. You know, animated sequences are the what do you say, the heart of these things. And then you can have even the exploded views and advanced tracking. I've said you all this before. So these are all possible, and these are all offered by ACE-XR of Vectrona, and which really helped US Air Force to come up with what they wanted. See, by this improved their they have improved the students performing well maintenance, and also using full scale digital models for performing on to the aircraft and also its parts. So these all ASXR features were being used in order to perform maintenance very well, and also um, on these full-scale 3 digital models of aircraft and its parts. So far guys, Vectrona had made 55 different AFXR enabled applications. So see how well they have performed in this, and this would be a very great inspiration for us to come up with something to help people, to help the students or all, to let them train better and become more skillful than they were before. Okay, so here comes again Gelardi. He says whatever experiences they provide using the ASXR applications are designed to be engaging and gamified, right? So one after one level, the way we play games, it would be as close as to that way, so that the student would be more inspired to learn and to get trained on all those things, encouraging interaction between the students. Okay, and also the 3D models of equipment, says Gilardi. It's just not passive learning, it's activated training that creates intrinsic student motivation to learn. So usually happens. when we start training someone passively using the old legacy methods, they are not encouraged enough or they are not inspired enough. Sometimes they feel, oh no, I do need to I have to do it, but I'm not willing to do. So in this technology, no one student can say that one, because it is all very gamified and all engaging content that is being provided. So how can one be neglecting, and how can one be not interested on them? So they are interested, right? See how it is, like it is as close to an inside an cabin of an aircraft, and you would do matlab, you can use all these levers, all these buttons as the same and actual one. So using the augmented reality. So now students, what can they do? They can move around and inside the parts of different equipment of the aircraft, whether they wanted to have a look around of it, they can do that. If they wanted to see what kind of hidden components are there inside, they can even see, look inside. They will be even digitally interacting with intricate components, not only looking them or not only seeing them, they can even visualize what what the different component can do or used to be done. So that will be there. And how what kind of scientific logics that augmented reality uses, it uses animations and also x-ray vision compatibilities. Okay, that's great capabilities. Yes, x-ray vision capabilities. Using these two things, these two logics, the students are able to do this, can perform these things. So far guys, we have seen different benefits of them, and on the technologies by which Vectrona is successful in doing this, and so far it had made 55 different XR applications, which is so great to see. So so now let us see some more of them. This can be a never-ending video with, if I start telling you the different benefits and all of what we can achieve through augmented and mixed reality. So, but it's a limited one. We just have some more. So see, I reminded you of scientist Dr. Helen Crompton, who is an international expert in educational tech and at Old Dominion of University. So he had done a research to see what can be the difference on learning of the students with these technologies, these ASXR technologies, and what with those students who traditionally learned using the legacy methods. So he had conducted this research, and if I show you, and if I can tell you, 5 to 10 hours of ASXR training was very much great, like better than 8% of those students who are learning it for 2 months training. Getting it? So how many like let me so 5 to 10 hours of training in ASXR is greater than 2 months traditional training by 8%. See how cool, isn't it? So 5 to 10 hours. And what if the same trainee trains for 2 different months? He would be very expert in those things, right? So this is a really very important and very great fact we need to observe. We need to see. So yeah, this thing I already told you, like the airmen can always be trained without even the asset available. He need not to wait for his turn. For example, if he was intended to learn from an aircraft, but that aircraft gone somewhere, like for different purpose, maybe some other reason. So in that sense, he wouldn't be able to get trained, right? So he need to wait until that comes back. So here that's not the case. I told you. Okay. So this was the feedback that different students of the U.S. Air Force were reporting. First of them was easy to understand. All of them were telling ki, yeah, it is actually very easy to understand, better than those traditional classroom PPT tutorials and all training methods. And also they can repeat it as many as they wanted, right? So guys, like we just have to understand each one of us are different. If I take 2 to 3 times repeated, maybe you may take less than mine to understand the same thing. So if each of us have different way of learning and different capabilities. So here AR helps us for all of them, for all of us, not only for those speed learners or slow learners, for all of them. Okay, so so trainings with this ASXR is far better than those counterparts who get trained using the existing training programs. Okay, so here one more fact that Geraldi says. Actually, Vectrona had joined with Microsoft also, so as to get HoloLens 2 in order to experience augmented reality for US Air Force. So hear what Geraldi says. So when students were interacting with a mixed reality experience, right, of a full-size aircraft, it was a beautiful thing. So see, like people, the airmen were studying, or they are getting trained on a 3D full-scale aircraft in augmented reality, and Geraldi is watching them behind. And what he's saying, it's a beautiful thing to watch them become fully immersed, like they have forgot the actual world, they have forget what's around them, and they started completely dipped into that training resource, and they started immersing themselves in that experience, fluidly move around the aircraft and perform the task. Says Geraldi, how cool it is, and how actually nice it is to see them uh, learning their things there in such a way, right? Isn't it? So now here we finished all them. So now just to summarize it, to sum it up, let's summarize what the benefits of AR we will be getting. So here the first and last, first and the best, uninterrupted and repeatable task training regardless of system, what system you have, or what aircraft is available or not, what part is available or not. So regardless of them, and that too without any additional cost, we need not to pay any additional payment. All we need to do is deploy an app, and ASXR kind of app, and it would do this for us. Yeah, no additional cost. You need not to wait for any asset whether it is available or not, right? And also, as we see airmen, they might be new to this thing, right? They would not be interacting with these kind of things before the training, right? So there are many chances of them in breaking the assets. So that risk is now nowhere. We are successfully eliminated the risk, because how can a 3D model be broke in an augmented or mixed reality experience? It's just impossible. You know? So we have eliminated this risk of breaking any asset without paying any additional cost, right? Using AR. So then comes this. Like for example, airmen, after their training, it would be a very daunting experience for them to face huge sized aircraft, isn't it? Even I let it, maybe if I'm a big fan of aeroplanes and all, right? If I used to watch different videos or different pictures of them at my home, but once if I get interacted with the actual ones, which is so far big in front of me, I would definitely be like a bit scared, right? A bit worried. So that would be a daunting experience for the airmen to face the huge aircraft and its parts. So, but now using AR and all, that wouldn't be there. They can interact with the digital versions first on a 3D full scale, and that too on their own pace with full confidence and motivation. Right? Isn't it cool? It is. And also improved cross training. This is the most um, truthful benefit we would be getting. So, guys, we are not perfect. No one of us is perfect. We can be an expert in a particular expertise, in a particular thing, but we would anyways be a novice in some other one, right? Anyways, so what if there is a need of an expert in a particular situation, but there is no expert nearby, and all so we are there who are novice for that situation. So what we can do, we can immediately use this ER. There is this software called as Euphoria Chalk. So this will connect the expert somewhere who is somewhere else, and us who are here right at the situation where it happened. So we can use this Fourier chalk or some kind of augmented reality to rapidly absorb information from an expert to and in order to do that thing. So this is very helpful in different scenarios and different situations. So here Vectrona had made US Air Force do this in this way. So this is just an inspiration, something of this sort we even can do. Okay, and the last but the least, effective remote learning scenarios. So guys, this is the most understandable fact that due to this COVID-19 pandemic, every one of us, like most of us, are still at their own homes due to the lockdowns or maybe due to the closings of all the training centers and all. But using augmented reality and mixed reality, we can anyways learn whatever we wanted to learn or get trained on being stayed at our own homes, isn't it? So yes, so augmented and mixed reality can help us in all these kind of scene scenarios with a very effective method. So I hope you have learned or you have seen lot many different advantages and different benefits of what we can achieve in augmented and mixed reality. So stay tuned, we would be getting more such videos, and let us explore different technologies we have. Okay, yeah, thanks for watching, thanks a lot.